demonstrator from southern Tasmania. I totally put myself off then. I'm just using all this brand new streaming software at the moment, so I'm not really sure whether I'm just sitting here talking to myself at the moment. So before I start anything too dramatic, I will wait and see if anyone else jumps on and whether they can tell me whether it looks okay, sounds okay, is okay. So I'm just looking at it on one of the channels and it sounds a bit tinny. It sounds like I'm in a cave, but that's at least I can hear myself. Okay, so we've got some chats coming through, so pop on, say hi, tell me where you're watching from. If it's your first time, let me know as well. So Leanne reckons it's okay at your end. Well, at least it's nice and close, Leanne, so at least it's getting to you. And Sal, hey Sally, I hope you're okay, scraping up okay. Yeah, so anyway, brand new, as I say, brand new streaming software. My son has been telling me I needed to swap away from my existing software for so long, but you know, you get comfortable with things, you think comfortable and you think, no, I can't be bothered changing, that makes too much hassle. So I sort of finally got so sick of the blurriness and the lagginess that I decided to follow his advice and actually do take the leap. So just had a message from my sister. Now that worries me. Whenever my sister would ring me, that would be something, could be something not very good. Let's see what she's saying. Okay. Bear with me for a minute. I'm just going to answer this message and tell her that I will get back to her. Yeah, so jump on, tell me where you're ringing from, and I will get back to the crafting now. So I have to admit that I'm half doing this and half listening. I have to admit that this is not a new stamp set. Well, it's been in the annual catalogue for at least a year, but it's new to me because I only just bought it, I'm ashamed to say, or not ashamed, but maybe I was good. Maybe I delayed getting it. Maybe I saved my money. But this is the basic borders dies, and the reason I bought it, if you guys watched a couple of weeks ago, I made a card where I used sort of a template that I made with the circle punches to make some stars. No, sorry, not some clouds. And I used my brushes to brush the blue sort of edges to the clouds and made it all look like fluffy. I'd show you the card, but I've actually given it to someone, so I can't show you the card. But I thought to myself, there must be a die that has a cloudy sort of profile, and this is the one. It's in the basic borders die. So this is fundamentally the reason that I bought the basic borders. But I thought, well, you can't just use it for one. You have to use it for more than one card. So I will use that for my next cloudy sky. But for today, we're going to use a couple of the other ones, and we're going to make a couple of Christmas cards as well. So yeah, so I think I'm going to actually use these quite a lot. If you haven't seen them, they've obviously got the cloudy sky one. You've got a little Z one here, a little decorative edge there. Sort of, this one looks a bit like an envelope, sort of that sort of square. This one's a circle one, and this one is just a straight angle there. Yeah, so that's what they have. There's 6 in the pack, and you can, they stand alone. You can buy them pretty much on their own and use your own stamp sets and such. Okay, so the 2 cards we're going to start making first. I think I decided to come to these ones first because I'm not sure about the third one, so you guys are going to have to help me with the third one. But we'll do the 2 that I am sure about first. Now here's 2, and they use the, I'm still a bit dubious about this software, so everyone tell me, give me the thumbs up if it's all looking good or if it's looking better. If you watch me regularly, you know I have trouble with focusing and stuff, so if it's looking better, please let me know that I've done the right thing and have to put up with Sammy saying I told you so over the next several years. Anyway, so these two here, I am using the paper out of the, I'm using the paper, Designer Series paper out of the Berry Christmas. And I keep saying it like berry, but it's not berries. It's not like little, it's bears. Berry Christmas Designer Series paper. You can tell I've liked this one. I've only got like half sheets of everything left, so a bit of scraps here and there. But I'm going to be using it in a future fun fold class, so I have to buy some more next order. So we're using the presents out of that. Night of Navy, because it's a lovely colour that goes with the presents, and various sentiments and dies and little embellishments and things that I've got from all different places today. I was sort of taking my inspiration from everywhere. Okay, so let's get started with this. Now, you guys know me. I like to get as many cards as possible out of the minimum amount of supplies. And this particular one I have, you know what I hate about this new one? Oh yeah, I can see how many are on. Oh, awesome. I was worried that I couldn't see how many people were actually on, but I can. It's down in the bottom corner. Cool. Anyway, so I'm still. This is just a bit of an experiment today, isn't it? Obviously, yeah. So I've actually used the one piece of cardstock for the embellished side, and the same one piece, so half and half. So I've cut one piece of DSP and one piece of cardstock and got the two cards out of that. So that's the way of saying it, sort of. Okay, so to do that, we've got various things I've already cut. To do that and to make sure that they both fit each other like the proverbial glove, I've cut both pieces of my Design Series paper and my cardstock the same size. So I want a nice border around the edge of my card base. So I have made them 1/4 inch smaller. Yeah. So the card base is my normal 8 1/4 by 5 1/2, and both pieces of these cardstock are pieces of paper and the cardstock are 3 7/8 and by 5 1/4. So what am I going to do to make sure, as I say, that they fit like a glove? I'm going to cut them both at the same time. So pop them both through my cut and emboss machine at the same time with the same die, so that I know that the right hand piece of the DSP will fit perfectly with the left hand piece of the cardstock and vice versa. I'll just grab my machine. I do have a croaky thread today, that's unusual. So let's get that. So pop them, as I say, line them up so they're exactly matching. Pop the die on. You can't quite see what I'm doing over here. So they're both pieces of cardstock are there. Both pieces of paper are there. Pop the die on. And I've sort of made it straightish. I sort of didn't want one card to have too much of one thing and not enough of the other. So I've sort of kept them sort of halfway and sort of even. I suppose you could go a bit hoopy and make them sort of like different proportions. Okay, so that is the cardstock and the DSP all cut. So cut together, and as I say, I know now that they will both fit exactly together when it comes to assembling the card. I might pop that down there. So the end result is going to be the right hand piece of the DSP with the left hand piece of the cardstock, and the other way with the other one. Okay, so, but as you know, I hate plain cardstock, so this I'm going to pop through the Tidings embossing folder, which is one of my favourites this year. It's just so bright and cheery, and I think that's what these cards are. It's, if you haven't seen it, it's quite a thin, I don't know if anyone who's got it has noticed this, but you actually have to pop it through just when you think you have your sandwiches sorted out. It's a very thin embossing folder. So even though it's a Stamping Up one, it's slightly different to the others, whereas the others I'd get away with plate 1 embossing folder and plate 4. So that's a normal embossing sandwich. With this one, I actually have to pop plate 2 in as well. And I think that's how it used to be, but I haven't seen one like it for such a long time. So it's a throwback in a way. But anyway, I'm going to pop my 2 pieces of Night of Navy cardstock in there. Making sure I put them both the same way. Yeah. I got my official email from Stamping Up today that congratulating me on making the Mexico trip. So I was a bit chuffed because I don't know. I mean, I know I got the points, but it was it was all such a dream, all such a sort of whirlwind that I sort of thought, was that a dream? Did that actually happen? And so it was nice to get the confirmation today and the congratulations from Stampin' Up. So yay, we're actually in. Okay, so now I've embossed those, I can pop them back together. It must be that way, yeah. That's it. So that's the way they're going to go. It must be that way. Yep, cool. So that's the basis of my 2 cards. There we are. So what I'm going to do now is just pop those. Did I cut myself some? No, I didn't. Silly Billy. I want to pop those onto a couple of layers of, again, Night of Navy. And the reason I'm doing this is, why am I doing this? Oh yeah, because I want to keep that, I want the opportunity to be able to set them up on embellishments. And I can't do that if I'm popping both of those straight onto the card base. You're going to see that I have the most blunt, blade in my trimmer at the moment. I just finished cutting 40 card kits, so I think everything ended up a little bit blunt, including my brain, obviously, because that's just totally wrong. Like 5 1/4 I need, or not 4 1/4. So that one. I'll pop those aside. I'll use those on something. I'll make another one. So I need 2 pieces, because I'm going to make both cards this morning. If I can stand that trimmer, I do have to grab a new blade for that. That's driving me mad. Oh, very city. You can actually just rub your finger along if it's only a little bit flurry, but that's mega furry, so it's okay. I'll live with it for the moment, and I'll get a new blade after we're done. Don't think you want to watch me changing my blades as well as everything else. Now you just sort of spit on it will lick your finger and just rub it along, and it just smooths those little fibres down a little bit. Okay, so I've got my 2 pieces of slightly furry cardstock, and I'm going to add my pieces on top. Doesn't matter too much because the edges will be covered over by our pretty embossed panel and everything, so that's cool. Okay, so I'll glue these down. So what have we got people watching on? I've got a couple here watching with me on group. We've got Janet and Sally. Are you in group as well? And Kay. So we've got some watching on YouTube as well. We've got some watching on my actual Facebook page. Where are we all watching from? Just getting an idea of how how well this new software is behaving itself. We've got some on Facebook, yeah, we've got some on, yeah. So where are you, what platform are you actually watching me on? Okay, that's one card front. Let's do the second one. I think this one has to go. This one has to go. Well, logically, if it's the other side of that, it has to go on that side, doesn't it? Logically, anyway. On YouTube, yeah, Facebook. So it is going the places it's supposed to go. That's good to know. Good to know. We'll have to tell Sammy, my youngest. We'll have to tell Sammy that it was a good suggestion. Okay, so there's my two card fronts, and I keep moving over to the left. That's because I'm sitting in the wrong spot. Okay, so there's our two card fronts there. So as I say, two card fronts from the same one piece of cardstock. And if you were going to put them straight onto, if you're happy just to put them straight onto the card bases, you'd save that as well. You wouldn't need that extra piece of cardstock behind. And the reason I used Night of Navy is because just in case there's a tiny little gap there, it would be invisible with the Night of Navy backing. Sometimes when you emboss a piece of cardstock, I don't know if you guys have noticed, sometimes when you emboss a piece of cardstock, it actually gets smaller, obviously because you're creating like little bumps and things in it, and it seems to sometimes shrink just a wee bit, but it definitely does shrink a bit. Okay, so let's pop these two together. I said I was going to pop them on dimensionals. Have I got enough dimensionals? We'll try one. We'll put one on dimensionals and we'll do the other one plain, just to see as a comparison. We'll pop this one on dimensionals. Now, I had chatting to a lady on YouTube, not chatting, but a comment from a lady on YouTube saying that my cards wouldn't be able to be sent in the mail because they were too thick. The particular card I'd done that she was commenting on had lots and lots of layers, and I do understand that from her that the rules about thickness, or the thickness of the mail, is quite strict in the States. I don't know whether anyone watching from the States can vouch for that. Whereas I said to the lady, our standard letter width, you can go and get away with a standard large letter up to 2 centimetres, or whatever that is in inches. You can get quite a thick letter into our postal system as a standard letter. Even it has to be a large letter, so it's a little bit more expensive. But yeah, they definitely don't start making us call them parcels or anything until they get quite thick. I've got my little mail thing here, and yeah, 2 centimetres is quite a big thing that you can actually get into our postal system as a standard letter. So the cards that I make with a few layers of dimensionals definitely wouldn't have any trouble getting in as a, even if I have to put 2 stamps on it rather than 1, it would still be a standard letter. Okay, so that's one. The other one, as I say, we're just going to glue this. We'll just do a comparison. We'll do a this or that, shall we? And if Deb's on, there's no ribbon involved in this one. It might be in the second one, but not with this one. So you can relax. We can both relax. Here we are. Okay, so that's our 2 cards pretty much done. So to decorate these, I've got 2 sentiment boxes. One that I've used, one that is from the brightest light, or the lights, right, where is it? Christmas, no. Christmas classics, no. Basic borders, no. It's from the stamps, the dies that go with the Brightest Glow stamp set. And it's called Labels Aglow. This is back in the bad old days when Stampin' Up used to name the matching dies and stamp sets like something, I'm not going to say completely different because there was always a weird connection. Like the Brightest Glow stamp set goes with the Labels Aglow die set. So it's like, you know, obviously you had to know that this die went with this stamp set, and sometimes they weren't intuitive. But nowadays we have thankfully we have the Christmas classic dies that go with the Christmas classic stamp set. You don't have to have those weird connections in your head. So anyway, this sentiment box is nice and long, and it matches the season's greetings from the Brightest Glow. And I'm going to use that one. So I'm going to use, for this one, I'll use my Night of Navy ink. And for the other card, I've got just a wee circle from the Stylish Shapes dies, and I'm going to put a different sentiment on that one. I'm going to put my inks over here. Oh. So Night of Navy for our season's greetings. There we are. And the other one, I'm going to use, I think All is Merry and Bright, also from the Brightest Glow, and that's going to be in Real Red. And on this little circle here. There we are. So I'm sort of making these two cards at the same time, aren't I? Just saying that I can't get cards through unless I have two stamps with one lot of dimensionals here at Rocky. I'll show you my thing. Do you have one of these? The lady at the post office got so sick of me asking the question that she actually got me one. She actually got me a letter gauge. I do love her for it. So that's the thickness of a large letter, and these are the thicknesses of a small letter. So say I've got this one, I know it's going to have an envelope on it. I can get that through the small letter just. So it's just, yeah. So one more lot of dimensionals you wouldn't get it in for. So the small letters are $1.20 at the moment. Yeah, but I'm saying that'd still be a letter and not a parcel. Whereas I think that's what this lady was telling me, that once she's got a few, she would actually have to put it through as be far too expensive to send anyway. Okay, so we've got our two sentiments here. So I'm going to pop, looks strangely the same, don't they? I've got one upside down, have I? No, both the same. Oh yeah, okay. Just the other ones look different. Okay, so we're going to put one of our season's greetings on one side of our card there. We're going to bring our little circle in and pop it on that side like that. And just to give them a little bit of Christmas extra, I'm going to stamp the little holly leaves and berries from the Christmas Classics stamp set. And then cut them out with the dies. So I need two of them. Two of the leaves. And then I'm going to put the berries in Real Red, and I need two lots of those. Better colour them in first. There's the dies anyway. I'm just going to colour in the two berries. So I'm going to take the green out of this, is actually Mossy Meadow. So I'm going to use light Mossy Meadow just to give these little holly leaves a bit of colour. It's very quick. Yes, so we upgraded the internet speed, which is funny because the plan we were on, we originally went on it when the boys were both younger and living at home, and spent a lot of time gaming on their computers. So at the time, they sort of told Stephen and I that they needed this high speed, U-Butte, bells and whistles, everything included, fast as you can get internet so that they could game, so the gaming would be okay. So we did that, you know, trying to be good parents. And over time, over that intervening period, the internet providers introduced like 2 even faster plans, and the plan that we were on has become like, you know, it's become like the, you know, not a good plan at all, really slow. So you think to yourself, who's changing here, me or the internet providers? I think I know what the answer is, but yes, so I had to upgrade to the even faster, even more expensive internet speed one, and then found to my disappointment that my video the other day was just as blurry and just as laggy as it was before, and then decided to go with Sammy's suggestion to change the streaming software. So hopefully that's what's making it look better today, but it makes me wonder whether we actually had to bother increasing the internet speed after all. So maybe I could just go back to the one we had before, which was like $50 a month cheaper, and have the same result. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Sammy will be home in a couple of weeks and I'll get him to fix a few things and ask him to what I can do, whether I need it. Sammy's my IT guy, as they tend to be when they get to that age. Oh, he always has been, actually, even from when he was little. They always know a bit more than us, don't they? Okay, so we've got, after my musings, we've got our little berries and our holly leaves. I'm getting embossing machine build up here. Okay, so let's pop these on. So I'll pop I'll pop the sentiment boxes on dimensionals. Excuse me. And the other one. So again, here we've got a card design that you could make multiples of quite quickly, a lot quicker than I'm doing today because I am mucking around. You know, if you bulk cut your embossing, if you bulk cut your sentiment boxes and popped more than one layer through your embossing folder, you could make a fair few of these on the trot and give them as gifts or use them as your go-to Christmas card. I've got to say something that's quite horrible at the moment, but I'm just about Christmased out. I'm not a big Christmas person. Isn't that horrible to say? Anyway, but I'm definitely looking to enjoy the new products that are coming soon. I'm just about, yes, as I said, just about Christmased out. And that will make half of you tune off maybe. So anyway, next fun fold class will be, will it be Christmassy? No, I don't think it will be. Next fun fold class will actually have I've only designed one of them, but yeah, not that many Christmas cards involved. We're looking to the future here. So there's one of our cards. I'm going to put some embellishments on in a minute. Let's pop the other one on. So I'll pop that here. So I've just popped a little dimensional on the back of our, just where I know that it's going to be on the card itself and not on the sentiment box. And then I'm just adding the little berries to the centre. I suppose in a way, now that the boys are grown and living with partners of their own in other places, it's just Stephen and I. So until we get grandchildren, I suppose then Christmas will take off again, won't it? At least that's what I'm hoping. I did love Christmas when the kids were little. Anyway, so some bling, or just some iridescent gems, jewels, rhinestones. Grab my just some various three different colours, sizes. There, trying to be a little bit more adventurous with my placement of my embellishments. You may have noticed I'm trying to get away from the old triangle and just bring them sort of in clusters around the points of interest on the card. It's something I picked up from World Card Making Day when I was watching the wonderful demonstrators from Stampin' Up, that the embellishments tend to be sort of in places that I wouldn't necessarily have thought to put them, but really effective. So yes, tucked up, almost like tucked up under the sentiment box in a couple of situations. So let's be adventurous, eh? So there we are. So that's the two cards. Where's the other one gone? There's the two cards that I've made with the one piece of designer series paper and our basic borders. So they're really cute. As I say, there I've got 4 of them now. I could quite easily pop them in a little pack for Christmas as a gift for someone. So there we are. Okay. Now the second card. This is the one that I will either go spectacularly well or fail dismally. We'll see. Now that's all right. You're all friends. I can fail dismally in front of you and have on numerous occasions. I'll just have a bit of a clean up and get rid of some stuff that I'm not going to need. Otherwise things are going to get very confusing. So this one, I'm going to use the Magical Meadow Designer Series paper with Misty Moonlight. Misty Moonlight. Sorry, I'm looking at the things that I can put away. So I don't need that. I don't need that. I might need those, depending on which way we go. We'll need that. So I'm using the Magical Meadow stamp set and dies, which I haven't got out. So we'll see how far I get with those. Have I got them out? Oh yeah, they're over to my right. I have got them out cut. And yes, as I say, on a Misty Moonlight card base. But anyway, so let's see how we go. I had this whole wonderful thing worked out where it was going to be layers and it was going to be incredible, and then I sort of chickened out. Anyway, so this is one I made this morning when I was trying to get the layers right. It's not a Christmas card, it's just it's a thank you card, but it's really sweet. And I used the countryside in designer series paper. I was just getting my feel with it, and I used the round border. So you can see there. Thank you, Deb. I will see there's ribbon there. Yeah, so this is the one I made when I was having a play. Going to swap to the Magical Meadow Designer Series paper, and we're going to make it a Christmas themed one. And I may swap a couple of things as well. So don't be surprised if this goes terribly wrong. Okay, so the first thing I've got my Misty Moonlight card base and the spare piece just in case it all goes terribly wrong. Normal size, 8 1/4 and 5 1/2. So I've got the piece of the Magical Meadow paper that I've chosen, and I've got exactly the same width but slightly longer piece of basic white. Whisper white, where did that come from? Whisper white, that hasn't been whisper white for so long. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the first card. I'm going to cut these two pieces of paper at the same time so that I know the edges will fit exactly. I'm not putting them together like a jigsaw puzzle this time, but I do want them to follow the same sort of angles. So I thought if I cut them at the same time, I'm going to know that they match perfectly. So, and I'm also going to swap, and you're all going to roll your eyes to heaven and say, Julianne, you know better than that. I'm going to swap to the zigzag die because I thought it needed something, because it's not the full width of that curl. Where is it? There you go. Because it's not the whole width of that curl, I thought it missed a bit of the detail. You really didn't see. It didn't catch your eye that they were matching shapes. So I thought I needed something that was a bit busier so that it actually caught your eye that they are a matching shape. So I'm using the zigzaggy one. So let's grab my cut and emboss machine. And because I want the white to actually sit, further forward than the Designer Series paper, I've made it a wee bit longer so that when I cut them together, it will slip forward. You'll see what I mean. It's very hard to explain for me this morning. Anyway, you'll get the picture when I show you. Hey. I did slip over my mini machine. I knew I shouldn't have left it there. Go away. I'm sorry, mini machine. Okay, so pop this through. So as I say, I've got a little bit of extra white cardstock there. So if I pop keeping them together, Julianne, would defeat the purpose otherwise. Popping them through with the die towards the bottom. I don't know if you can see that there. Pop that through and you'll see what I've done. Hopefully see what I've done. Now, without causing another crash bang incident. Here we have the white one with the little lacy bottom, and then I move the Designer Series paper up, just up to meet the top, and we've got the little bit of white showing out the bottom. And I already like that better because I think that's going to be more of a punch than the other one. So they're both going to sit on the same width piece of Misty Moonlight. I wanted to use Boho Blue, but I couldn't fit it to this paper. I haven't used Boho Blue for so long. I was trying to weave it into something. So these three are going to sit together like that. Now, the sentiment is going to be on this. I'm going to heat emboss it on this layer down here. Now, these are too long, obviously. I've got to trim that so that they're up a wee bit further. So I'll bring in my struggling blade. I'm going to take, what will I take? At least, let's see. So to get my sentiment in there, I'm going to need about that. Yeah, so probably half an inch. Half an inch will do it, I reckon. Or a quarter. What was that? more like a quarter. Don't go too crazy, Julian. Let's see how that is. Yep, that's better. I've just taken a quarter of an inch off that. There we go. Okay, put that back. Now, I'm going to heat emboss my sentiment. It's all going so well, so far so well, but yes, it didn't. There is a point where I have no idea what I'm going to do, so we'll see how we go. Now, from the Magical Meadows stamp set, the only sentiment I've actually used appropriately, given that Christmas in Australia is often heat wave, I've used May the Season of Sparkle Bring Joy and Delight, because obviously winter wishes, well, people, by the time it gets really, really hot, people probably will be wishing for winter, but cold weather, yeah, definitely not cold weather in Australia at Christmas time. So I've avoided those two. I might bring them out when winter actually comes back around, but at the moment I haven't used them. Okay, so my Versamark ink and my buddy, my embossing buddy, and ink. So I'm just going to, sorry I'm off the edge there, but I'm just inking up my stamp with my Versamark. I'll pop it just in the centre towards the bottom. Not exactly straight, but it'll be fine. This is my white powder. There we are. Just going to bring my heat gun in, so forgive the noise, pop that down somewhere where it's not going to go horribly wrong. Heat gun. Just forgive the noise a bit. I'm going to do this off screen just so it doesn't get that close to the microphone. And because the cord won't reach that far, well, it might, just that far. Okay, that looks about right. Yep, all done. There we are. May this season of sparkle bring joy and delight. So I'm going to glue these three panels together. There we are. And this one. Once these three are together, I'm going to wrap the ribbon round. Thank you, Deborah. Deb. Now I'm going to use, given that I haven't got a Misty Moonlight ribbon, I'm just going to use this pretty Night of Navy one that we had from the catalogue. So it's in the annual catalogue, not the mini catalogue. I wonder how no, I won't change. Don't change, Julian. I was just thinking how the gold sparkly Night of Navy one would go. But I think that's a bit much for the sort of earthy nature of this particular card. So I'll grab some double-sided tape. I'm going to put the ribbon at about that sort of angle, that sort of position there. So, double-sided tape. Bring my mic a bit closer. how's everything holding up? The volume's okay. The focus looks good when I'm watching it on my iPad, on my phone, but it's a very small screen, so the focus would look good on a small screen. I'm assuming that those of you who are watching it on computers and things, it's holding up okay. It's worrying me terribly because I do love doing my videos for you all, and I hate the fact that I couldn't get that horrible focus to work. There's nothing more annoying than you guys watching me and have it blur in and out of focus all the time. So yeah, so there we are. So that's mostly done. This is about as far as I got with this card. As to whether it needs anything else is the next question. So does it need, it's got a sentiment, I've got some bling that I could use. Does it need the little bouquet that I did with the original? I'll bring it back in so you can see. Now, because I have heat embossed that panel, it's a little bit kinky. I'm going to just firm it down against the desk. So what do you think? I'll bring the other one in so you can see. Do you think this one needs the little bit of extra that that one's got? Bouquet would be good. I thought I could stamp and die cut one. What do you think? I might stamp and using the actual stamp set, since that's what we're I'll mimic the paper behind, see how that looks. Okay, so the colours from the, I'll move that aside so I don't do anything horrible to it. And I'm going to need some white. Let's see. Do I have any white? Oh, yeah. There we go. Nice scrap of white. Okay, so maybe we'll do some berries. Love this one. Somebody said to me the other day, do you think you're going to sell your Magical Meadows? And I think, no, probably not. I think it's a keeper. We might use both of those. So the berries, if I match the berries off the paper, they've got to be blueberry bushel. So let's do that. Okay, and then, although they've got blueberry bushel leaves as well, but that might just be a mutant sort of plant. And then some garden green would work as well with the paper. Right. Okay, and then I might do a die cut in white or vellum. Oh, I might do a die cut in vellum. Ooh. I can find my vellum. Here we are. I'll do a die cut. Oh, it's a new pack. Must have an old pack there somewhere. Yes, I do. So I'll just snip off a piece of that for a die cut. See how we go. Let's pop that together and we'll see whether we think we need more. So if I grab the dies, hey doll, Stevie's home. We've got the leaves and the berries, and we want something in vellum. Maybe that one. Now I don't have to, I don't know if you guys watched midweek. I've got a prize draw for customers that started for orders from the 1st of November, and I was going to draw the lucky numbers or present the lucky numbers on Saturday mornings. I haven't got anything, didn't get any orders during the, well, from the last couple of days of the week, so I've got nothing to draw today, hopefully. So all 25 numbers and prizes are still available if you wanted to pop an order in. $75 is the minimum to be in the prize draw. And the prizes, you know, range from embellishments and card kits at free classes, and the major prize, so the biggest prize on the countdown calendar, is a bundle of your choice from either catalogues, up to the value of $100. So yeah, that's a pretty good deal for a $75 order. I've got that one with some vellum, so that should be nice. Just wondering whether I'm going to need one. I might do one in white, and whether I use it or not, we'll see. I might pop one in white, that one. And whether we, as I say, if we use it, we use it, and if we don't, we don't. So yes, pop your order through. I know a couple of my customers are waiting for the 7th of November when the Meandering Meadows suite becomes available, so hopefully I'll get a few orders and we'll have a draw next Saturday instead. I think probably my wonderful customers helped me out so much getting to Mexico. They probably spent all their crafting money, so of which I am eternally grateful. Okay, so we've got some little things here we can pop together in a bouquet. So we've got our berries and our leaves. Let's pop them like that. And then vellum one at the back. I'm just worried that that's a bit big for our card, but let's see how we go. So if we pop it there, oh no, that looks really good. What do you reckon? I think that looks really nice. Even with the white. I'm glad I've got the white one. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you guys are very right. I think that makes it, just brings it a little bit more texture and interest to quite a plain card. Okay, so let's pop all that together. I love it when we all agree, although I was a bit dubious to start with. Let's get my ink dots, and my glue dots, because there's not a chance in anything that I'm going to try and pop this together with glue. So I'll pop a little ink dot on there. Bring in the next layer. And then another one. And then our leaves. Make sure I can see if I can recreate that little bouquet that I made. Sometimes that's the hard thing. You get one go at it and you think, that's perfect. And unless you take a picture of it or something, you never can recreate it again. Well, that's my problem anyway. There we are. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. So we pop that on there. If underneath, would underneath be nice? No, you lose too much. Pop it on there like that, and I will use some, what am I going to use for that? Maybe small glue dots, I think. Just a few of them on the larger parts of the bouquet so that it sort of helps stabilise it. Maybe a bit on that vellum because it's going to flop around if I don't. Thankfully that's just the right size to sit behind that little whatever it is. And when we talk about little bows, I discovered, isn't it terrible when you look in your stash and you realise that you've got things you've never even opened. I think it's such a waste. But anyway, I had, if I can still find it, this. And I think it's still in the catalogue. The Baker's Twine Essential Pack. And look, here's me wondering what twine I'm going to use. So obviously the white. I think the white would be nice. So I'm just going to tie myself a little bow, just a single bow in white. And attach that to those little that little bouquet, so it looks like it's being held together. Not particularly Christmassy, but hey. Non-traditional Christmases are definitely valid. Might be a bit big. Well, thank you for sticking with me the whole time today, guys. It's a bit longer than my normal videos. Sort of 3 cards is quite ambitious for 30 minutes, but we've managed to get in for what? It's going to be an hour by the time we're done. That's not too bad, especially since we had to make this one up as we went along. One more glue dot. I'm definitely glad I swapped to that more detailed border, definitely. And I'm glad you convinced me to do the little bouquet as well. So there we are. Okay, and some bling. Well, I got this bling here. This is the Tinsel Gems 3 pack. And it does have a Misty Moonlight one here. So I thought I could see what it looks like anyway. Yes, yep, that would be nice. So we'll use a couple of those as well. Go 5. There we go. This is a special card. It gets 5 embellishments, not just 3. There we are. Okay, done. Oh, really pleased with the way that's turned out. Thank you guys for your guidance and assistance with that one. I think definitely together we are far more productive than just on our own. So there's our 3 cards that I've made today. 2 of them very similar, using that same sort of squarish angle border die, and this one with the sort of zigzaggy one, and this one has the round one as well. So that's my original from this morning, my template. So hopefully you like those. As I say, that border die has been around for, seems to be, years. Hopefully it'll be a staple and continue on, but if not, just please grab it, because I think actually it's going to be quite useful for my own crafting as well. Anyway, so thanks for watching me, guys, and thanks for all your positive feedback on my sound and volume and everything like that. Maureen's just joined us. Watch the replay, lovely. Yeah, and I will see you all again